Let's talk about the reality of invocation and evocation. Invocation and evocation are both two ways that you call on a spirit to show up, whether it be asking for their blessing or trying to manifest them physically in the room in like a triangle of art or something. So, invocation is a way of bringing their energy into you, so you are the conduit. Evocation is bringing them into the space outside of you. Now, there are a couple more things to this. So, an invocation is when also you are just asking, hey, could you come over and help me out? And an evocation is like, you get over here, right? So, one of them, as you can tell, is more forceful than the other. A lot of people think that it is much more respectable to call on a spirit, ask for their blessing, rather than forcing them to show up. Be invited to a party rather than being dragged to a party. So that's point one. Point two, the majority of people, especially if you are starting out with this stuff, you are not going to get a full-bodied apparition, the first time that you work with a spirit, the 100th time that you work with a spirit, the 1,000th time that you work with a spirit, you're it takes building psychic skills and being able to see with your other faculties, your extrasensory perception, in order to actually manifest something like that. Because you're not going to see something as solid as me. And if you are, then your your psychic skills are turned up way, way, way up, even past me. Um, the main idea is that when you invoke a spirit, they are on a different plane than you. So think of it this way, and this was such a cool thing to hear about, to think about the other day. But we live in four dimensions. So anyone that's saying that we're moving to 4D is bullshit. Length, width, height, and time. Those are four dimensions. So think about this. If something was only living in two dimensions, then we could look at them from our third dimensional standpoint and they couldn't see us. You know, something could be looking at us from a fifth dimensional standpoint and standing right next to you, but you can't see them because you can't comprehend that fifth dimension. And then someone at the sixth dimension is looking at someone at the fifth, and so on and so forth, and it goes up and up and up and up and up on the different dimensions. Because for every dimension, ironically, there is another dimension to observe it. And so when we invoke something, they are there. Now, they can communicate to us because they are communicating lower, let's say. And we pick up on that through our extrasensory perception, which is why it is much, 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 much easier, especially for beginners, when you are working with a spirit to do so in meditation, in working in the astral plane, you know, let's go with beginners, right? Working in meditation through visualization and such. You open yourself up to the presence of a spirit, and then your ESP antennas pick up on what they are trying to communicate to you, and that's where you get images and sounds and feelings and things like that. So a lot of times when I'm working with the 50 names of Marduk, I'm leaving my physicality behind and I'm completely in here in my mental plane and in the astral plane. I've talked about it in other videos. And so when you are working with a spirit, don't just think that because nothing changed in the room, nothing showed up. You got to be more open and work more with your psychic skills. So pay attention to any thoughts and feelings that you have, pay attention to temperature changes, track your thoughts, which direction are your thoughts going in? Because when you become proficient at this and you're listening to that inner voice more and more, there are things that will communicate through that inner voice of yours, through the antenna into your inner voice, and therefore communicate with you. So in reality, evocation is not what it's shown to be in the movies. Yeah, short, sweet, to the point. Good hunting. Thanks for watching my video. So if you want to check out my playlists, I have, among others, the Simon Necronomicon, the Tree of Life, General Magic, Tulpamancy, a playlist on my books, the elements, stones, the theories that govern magic, and the gods and goddesses of Mesopotamia. If you want to check out my books on Amazon, I have Creating Consciousness, Magical Mechanics, Magical Theater, Handy Sigil Magic, Magical Movement, which is an update and expansion upon Handy Sigil Magic, Magical Mastery, which is a combination masterwork of Magical Theater and Magical Mechanics, and The Guide to the Spheres and Beyond. You can also find me on Facebook at Magickology YT. You can email me at priestofthenecro@gmail.com, and you can even check out my Instagram, which is Magickology. And good hunting.